Hello YouTube, in this video I have a very special hat for you and a review and a first impression of this hat, and this one is in blue and it's from a company that has been making hats from the year 1857. They have huge amounts of experience of making the most luxurious hats you can get. And what's the brand? It's a Borsalino Quality Superiore. Yeah. So this one is the highest end of Borsalino hats, and I'm gonna tell you why in just a few moments. You can see over here in the back we have this nut. This has to be in a fedora hat, you know, this cute nut over here. If your fedora hat doesn't have this cute nut over here, it's not the real thing. And then it reads 100% hair, contains non-textile parts of animal origin. So this fur that this has been made out of, I'm not really sure what animal it came from, maybe like a lamb, I'm not really sure, who knows, but this brand uses in some of its other hats like beaver and that type of stuff, but you know I'm vegan, and like the beaver hat, it was like not the right color. So I got this blue one, and you might be thinking that why blue? Like why blue? And you know, blue is not really my favorite color, not at all, but blue in terms of like color psychology is really a great color, and it, like, I have noticed that when I use blue, people like me more, you know, people just like white with me more, you know. In Finlandia, you know, the flag of Finland, you know, it has a blue cross and a white background. Maybe that's why people like blue so much in Finlandia. I don't know. But you get this one in red, it's gonna make a very different kind of impression. So I got the blue one, and it goes with my new outfit pretty great. I have this color over here called teal also. And I'm gonna be telling you something about this hat. You know, I got this one in the size of 58 centimeters, and it's just the right size for me, you know. It's just the fucking right size for me. And the interesting thing about this fedora hat is that this fabric, this material, it's a bit thinner than, for example, over here. I have this another fedora hat, and this one has been used already quite a lot, you know. It's more old school looking, and it has the feather in it. This one is made by Paul Smith, and I have been using this one in a lot of my videos. You can see it looks great. It's a great hat. There's nothing really wrong with this one, but the feel when you have this on your head, it's a bit different, you know. From this, you can freaking feel the quality. You know, it feels like, you know, like one of those things that the saints have on their head, you know, that kind of like a halo ring, you know. It feels so light, and it feels so comfortable at the same time. It feels like, you know, it feels like almost like emptiness on your head, you know. And it feels so amazing, you know, like. And I have noticed that the way that this hat changes your voice compared to this one, I'm gonna do an experiment over here. The way that this hat changes your voice is that it makes it sound a little bit more like three-dimensional, because I feel that the sound wave, when it travels, it actually goes from back over here compared to this one. I sound different to myself, I mean. And that's the magic of these hats. That's the main point why you should wear a fedora hat. It looks cool, but it also changes your voice. You will learn so much about your voice, and in general you will learn so much about yourself. like the way I got so good with the English language, it was mainly because of these hats. Well, there was of course other things related, but you know, the Paul Smith one over here, you know, it's much cheaper. It's much cheaper. I would recommend that hat like any day. You know, I've been wearing that like all the time. You know, even in the, I've been wearing it like even inside. You know, like buildings. It's awesome. And this one, it came in this box. It came in this box. You know, over here we might do like a thumbnail type of like shot. You know. Yeah. That's great. So it came in this box, and I felt about this box that, yeah, it's kind of, it's great, you know. I like the finish in this box, and it's a great place to actually like put the hat on. You can like just put it over here like this. Yeah, like look at that, like look at that. Wow, man. And it's kind of like that kind of hat that you look at it like this and you're kind of like, like what is that? And then you see this like thing, and you're like, where you go like, holy shit, that has to be like a real thing. And we have over here, it reads Anello Rasato Tesa Media C. I have no idea what that means, but you know, they make this brand makes like these straw hats also, these like straw fedora hats. And from this I walked around, you know, in the outside world with this one, and this might not be something you wear when it gets a little bit colder, because this is a lot thinner actually. This is a lot thinner material, this thing, and I feel that this is not gonna be your winter fedora. If you want to wear a fedora in the winter time, you need this like headband type of thing, or a scarf you can also put around your head or your like ears, and then you can wear the Paul Smith one. I would really like if some fedora hat manufacturer would make a hat that had this like built-in type of like covering for your ears. It would be really great. But you can wear this type of hats in the winter time, but if you want to wear this type of hat with like some, you know, in the winter time, I would not recommend this brand, because they haven't, this shape is not really great for that. And this hat is actually called the Federico, and it's not your traditional, maybe it's not your traditional fedora hat actually, because when you look at it like that, like how am I gonna even show this to you? It's so hard. This way. If you look at it like that, yeah, it looks pretty much the same, but the shape of the thing is actually less circular than this kind of hat. This one is really circular, and this one is closer to a trilby. This one is closer to a trilby. I believe that this is completely like this brand's, you know, own design, and it doesn't look so good in a shadow. The shadow of this hat looks different, but because of that, it makes you look in different kind of places, you know, because the fedora hat really works like this. You look at your shadow, your shadow makes you look at somewhere like you look at your shadow and you think, yeah, that angle looks good. Then you look somewhere else and you see something new. It kind of like works like this, that this hat actually is like showing you things that you normally like miss. That's why these hats are also really great for you if you like do photography, because they show you new angles. They show you new angles. And I learned so much about, you know, about hand gestures, about body language, about my voice. I've been learning so much through these hats. So that's one of the reasons. And I also got this blue one because you know I use Fedora Linux as an operating system on my computer, and I've been thinking that I should maybe mention that more often to people, because you know I'm in Finlandia this is like the Fedora Linux color over here. This is the exact, you know, it has the exact shades almost, you know, as the Fedora like branding, you know, the Fedora Linux branding. So it's kind of like also there's so many like ways I can market myself with this thing, you know. I can start a conversation about, you know, about Truth Detective, about using Linux, you know, with the computer people. I can just, you know, yeah, I can talk about blue, you know. And one of the reasons I also got this hat was that I talked to this just like briefly, you know. I talked to this one girl, and she had like dyed her hair with blue, and it was really rare. I've never seen anybody like I have seen only once any girl like dye her hair blue, or twice, and it looks so good, you know. It looked so beautiful, you know, and I was so impressed, you know. So I thought, yeah, that's great color choice. So if you're watching right now, you helped me choose this color, you know. I could have went with the brown, I could have, well, I have a black one, you know. I could have went with the brown, but you know, blue, yeah, that's great, this will look great. And it has a gold Borsalino thing over here. I really like this thing over here, and this really works great if you have a lot of like different shades of like blue over here. You can see in my clothes I have a really light blue over here. I have some like purple over here. I have a deeper blue over here. Nothing matches this blue, but then I have a teal over here and I have green over here. So you can kind of like mix all of these colors, you know, from each other. That's what I always try to go with clothes, that you can mix every color from every other color. That's what makes a good painting, and that's what also makes a good way of like dressing, you know, of like, and that's what also makes a good outfit, I feel. Yeah. So, but that's artistry, you know. Most of people dress like shit, you know. Like in my town, you know, people dress like there's huge amounts of money. People have huge amounts of money in this like town. There's a lot of wealth, you know, over here. People dress in fucking rags, you know, in plastic fucking bags. Yeah, like modern clothes, you know, they make all this kind of noise, you know. You know, wait, like winter clothes in Finlandia, the freaking worst, you know, because you can hear like people like from 20, 30, 40 meters even. These clothes, because they're made of plastics, you know, they make huge amounts of noise when you walk in them. Like holy shit, you will never like learn to fucking, like you will never be able to sing anything if you wear those kind of clothes, you know. Never, because there's so much fucking noise. It's so distracting. And like modern clothes in general, you know, they look like shit. They look like shit, you know, they are made out of, yeah, that's really what I hate about, you know, like, because, you know, I'm an autistic guy, you know, the fedora is an autistic thing, you know, and it's the neck beard type of thing, you know, but I'm an autistic dude, so I'm really particular about the fabrics I use, because I feel them so like, you know, like, I feel fabrics so like strongly, you know, so I try to always go with, you know, with cotton materials, you know, and I've been looking into this some like what are they called, you know, like lyocell and all this kind of like fabrics, and I'm really like trying to find a like fabric that feels amazing, you know, on you, on your skin, and I feel that I found the like I really feel that this hat really feels on your head amazing. Like this is like the type of feel I would like to like recreate in some like other clothes. You know, I have a Ralph Polo shirt over here, and these are not your like super high-end stuff. You know, they're the bit above average. This one is probably the highest I would go on a hat. You know, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't get probably a hat for like 1,000 like euros. Yeah, probably not. This one was pretty expensive, you know, about twice as much as that Paul Smith one. And I would say that it's worth it. It's really worth it because it feels different. But if you really want to get a good fedora hat for like a colder climate, this brand is not what you should go with. Like, no. I feel that, yeah, you know, it's an Italian brand compared to something that is from United Kingdom. You know, they don't get winter. They don't understand winter time. So this is not your winter hat. Let's just be done with that. So I'm interested in this. Can you wear this type of material because it's so light? It's so thin. It's so thin that can you like go through the summertime even with this one? Or do I have to get another one, you know, like, do I have to get another one that is more like this straw type of like thing? Because in Finland, I'm gonna be telling you about this. In Finland, the winter lasts about a half year. And the winter really lasts, you know, now it's April and it's still so cold that you can't really wear something like this without some protection for your ears. I see a lot of people like without even hats at all, but their ears are always like fucking screaming red, you know, and that's really bad for you. You shouldn't like do that thing. So in Finland the winter lasts for almost a half of a year, so you really have to think about clothes in a different way in Finland. You can just be going with these Hawaii shirts only. So I'm not really sure. I'm really interested that how will this one fare in the like summertime, because like wool or like this kind of felt can actually be quite like it might really not be that warm even in the like the scorching heat, you know. We're gonna see, but I feel with those Paul Smith ones they are too thick. The material is too thick. It makes it like feel like really great quality, but I feel that, you know, the brim on this one looks a bit better. The edge of this one looks a bit more high quality, and you can see how the light reflects off this one. You can see the shadow. You can see the shadow over here pretty great. I like that. I think that that's one of the things that have to be in a fedora hat also. And the other thing that about these hats, these Borsalino ones, is that the cheaper ones don't have this inner fabric. And I'm gonna say that you shouldn't get one like that. Maybe if you have ample amount of hair, it's not a problem. But if you are like a skinhead like me, you know, I'm not a skinhead, you know. I just hate hair. I just hate hair, you know. I've been sporting this kind of hairstyle for almost all my like youth and all my like adulthood, because I feel that the hair is just annoying, you know. I love hats. Hats are great, you know. You know. But if you have hair, it's maybe different. But that kind of thing, you know, I feel that this is what you should be like going for, and this is only in the highest end hats, you know. This is only in the highest end, you know, of this brand, and you know the Paul Smith one has actually the same type of like thing, but it feels a bit different, And I like in the Paul Smith one how there's like purple like stitching around the like the brim. That's great in the Paul Smith one. In this one it's just black. I would have made it. It might be a really dark shade of, yeah, it's a really dark shade of blue actually. It might be closer to this. It looks really nicely made. And I read from the website that these might actually have some like a handcraft in them also. So this one might be actually there might be some handcraft over here. At least in the like the most expensive straw versions there is. And I'm questioning if the cheaper straw hats from this company are actually made in the Italia also, or are they just like, you know, manufactured in China. It's possible that they are. Then there we have over here in the back this like type of, I don't know what we would call that, but I really think that looks great. You know, that looks great. Because if you're like sitting down and somebody like looks at you like from this angle, they are gonna like read the brand, and they are gonna see that, you know, that detail, and it looks fun. It looks fun. And I'm not really sure how I'm gonna like decorate this thing yet. If I'm gonna be wearing my business card over here. You know, the red True Detective card. I'm not really sure if I'm gonna wear it with this one, or if I'm gonna just leave it like this, or if I'm gonna find a feather for this. You know, I really think feathers make feather hats, you know, like so great. You know, it looks like this feather gives this one so much. There's so much personality in this. You know, like because it's real. You know, it's from a real bird. You know, and I really want to find maybe a feather for this that kind of like gives this like the hat some like you know, makes it even better. And I'm thinking about something probably with white. Yeah, something probably with white. But I don't know if there are any people, you know, I don't know, like probably from like this, what's the bird called, you know, peacock. You know, I want to find a really nice peacock feather for this, maybe. But maybe it doesn't need anything. Maybe it doesn't need anything. You know, Borsalino had this one. This one was called the Federico. So it's let's just say that this shape is a little different from a traditional fedora hat, and it's not so circular. And because of that, I said that it makes you look in different kind of like angles at the world, and you see things that you wouldn't see. I'm gonna say, with this hat, you're gonna see things that you will not see with the cheaper version. You will see things that you will miss, and they might be important, or they might not be. But this shape makes you look at the world in a different way, and that's the genius of this. And nobody gets this. Nobody that wears these hats actually understands the magic of like this thing. Like nobody that doesn't wear this like can get it. You know, that's the funny thing about these hats, is that they are so great, but nobody gets it that they're so great. Like it's this kind of like special thing that you can market to people. You can sell these to people. Like you can't sell these to people. What I mean by that is that you can't get anybody to wear a fedora hat. It's not it's more of a thing that you just at some point, you know, you grow into it, you know, I feel. And I feel that like this, like my journey with the Fedora Linux, for example, like I've been using the operating system for like years now. It kind of like made me into the Fedora man, you know. It showed me the way to be the Fedora man, and I think that's so great. I think that's so great. And of course, I want more people to wear, I want to see more people wear Fedora hats, but you know, it's rare. It's rare. Like in my town, you know, there's about 50,000 people. I have seen about 5 Fedora hats, and most of them pretty low quality. Like not, you know, the real deals. Why that is? Well, people nowadays, you know, they have their Tesla cars. They don't care about hats, you know. But going outside and getting a little like air, you know, it's so healthy for you. Why not look cool at the same time? Yeah. And you know, I'm just gonna nail this point for you. You're going to learn so much about yourself when you start wearing these things. You're gonna learn about your facial expressions. You're gonna learn about your hand gestures. You're gonna learn about your voice. You're gonna learn how to listen better. You're going to learn so much about yourself. These hats create the space for you to start expressing yourself in a way that has been forgotten and like lost in this modern world. And that's such a shame. And I want this thing to become more something that people like feel, yeah, this is what like, you know, modern guys should be going for. Not just, you know, this like weightlifting thing. Yeah. Thanks for watching.